Hi guys, I thought I'd read you a story today because we haven't read you a story for ages. My hair still looks an utter mess, but it's going to be a while before that's sorted out. I'm going to read you a book called Immi, and it's by a lady called Karin Littlewood. And I love this story because she came to school about 6 years ago. I think it was when my daughter was in year 1 and my son was in year 2, so it was a long time ago. But she was awesome. She sat down and did loads of art with the kids, and she was just a really lovely lady and quite inspiring with her artwork. And she just kind of had this really cool, laid back, bohemian kind of vibe. Yeah, she has a really cool studio in London where she does all of her artwork and does all her drawings for other people's stories, and she writes her own stories, and even her art studio looks brilliant. So you can look her up. I think she's got a website, Karin Littlewood, and you can find out all about her. But she seemed like a really cool lady. I love her books, and I think we bought 3 of her books that day, so she did all right out of me. Anyway, she's written in the front, and the artwork in this book is amazing, beautiful. So I'm going to try and hold it up whilst I'm reading it. Okay. Oh, it was cold. The icy wind blew and the snow fell and fell. Immi looked around her, but all she could see was a frozen white world. Immi broke a hole through the ice and fished for her supper. Just one more, she thought, in case anyone comes round, which they hardly ever did. But instead of a fish, at the end of the line, she found a little wooden bird. You can see the little wooden bird there at the end of her fishing rod. It was so beautiful. She'd never seen such colours before, and she tied it to her necklace next to a small white bear. You can see here that she's wearing a necklace, and there's the things that she's found. The next day, Immi fished a red flower. Then an orange starfish, a green leaf, a purple feather, and soon her igloo was the brightest thing in the land. It could be seen for miles around, and before long visitors came from far and wide to look and to wonder. But all her visitors, as you can see, are different animals. They always stayed for supper, and they filled those long dark nights with stories of faraway lands. And Immi's world seemed a brighter and more colourful place. Then one day the ice began to melt. It was time for her to leave. But just as Immi was about to go, she stopped and put her hand to her necklace. She took the small bear and gently dropped it into the water. Then she turned and left. Far away, a little boy walks across a beach holding the brightest thing he can find. He throws it into the waves and wonders, as he always does, where it will go. But this time, something catches his eye, shining in the sand. What do you think it could be? It's a beautiful small white bear. He picks it up and holds it. Then he hangs it around his neck, where a little wooden bird had once hung. And that is the end of the story. But why I love it so much is because there's Immi, who lives where there's ice and it's freezing cold, and her only friends are animals, and a little boy who lives on a desert island, who probably lives with lots of other people, but they're transferring their precious treasures to one another without even knowing it. And I love that story. And what I loved about it when she came to visit the school was she showed the children how to do some beautiful drawings. And this is probably my favourite page in the book, because you can see Immi at the top and she's fishing and she has no idea what is going on underneath that ice, the layer of ice at the top. But we can see that there's a narwhal, there's a huge whale, jellyfish, and I just think it's awesome.